Morning all. How are we all doing? Sorry, just moving some cables around. How's everybody doing? That's not set up right, is it? Got my times wrong on that one. Never mind. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Sorry, it's always a bit of a rush on a Thursday. I have a class in the morning and I don't get back until 7:45. So it's like jump in the shower, jump on the desk, try and figure out what the hell's going on. Got 1 minute to the open. Morning Andy, Prosta, Llewellyn, Rahat, Nagesh, Michael, Peter, Stevie. How are we all doing? I've got a NASDAQ trade on long. This is a remnant from last night from FOMC. Where's my pointer gone? One sec. Let me just get that. So yeah, got this this long on, which was a very deep stop. I've just moved the stop up under the lows. Basically, it's only $100 risk. It's only a little one. But yeah, I just got this left over basically from FOMC yesterday. What an FOMC, eh? Double-ended stop hunt, taking everybody's money. That's what they do. Morning, Goiche, good name. Morning, Diamond. Right, so we'll have a look at the FX pairs and everything in a minute. Let's just have a quick look at the open and see what's going on this morning. Indices, obviously, FOMC move yesterday. We had a big drop off of FOMC and then a complete reversal off the back of the press conference. So that happened obviously across all pairs. The DAX didn't move a lot off of FOMC, and obviously neither did the FTSE because it's not really related. But yeah, it wasn't a massive movement. It was decent, but nothing groundbreaking. So for direction today, a little bit difficult. Obviously yesterday was another big up day. We've pulled up into the 24 on the NASDAQ. S&P, we've pulled up into the 24.72 zone. Same on the Dow. FTSE's recovered back up to the 72. We're coming into this area of congestion here. We've got two good, nice up days there. And the same on the DAX. We've had like 4 up days now with just one rest day in the middle. But we are still in a bear market at the minute. So at some point, this thing is going to come down pretty hard, I think. Either as a profit take kind of move or start of the next leg. But we will see what happens today. So again, bias today really looking more for shorts than longs. But we will see what happens with the opening range. It's fairly wide at the minute and short. So let me just get the NAS up as well. Ignore the opening ranges and stuff. This is all the timings and everything are wrong on this. I haven't adjusted the timings for summertime on that one. There's no ADRs today so far. So not a particularly fast movement out of the gates today. Simeon, I've heard NASDAQ heading to 20k. Who told you that? Could do. Probably will do at some point. Don't believe everything you hear. Think about what the first thing to go is when you have inflation hit. Luxury goods. What's the NASDAQ made up of? Majority. Tech. What's tech? Luxury goods. We're going to have inflation hitting levels we haven't seen for decades over the next couple of years. The Fed has said, we're increasing it 6 times this year. It's going up today, and the pound's increasing today, interest rates. So it's all, inflation is not going anywhere, and things like gym memberships, luxury goods, all that sort of stuff is the first thing to go when people's pockets are squeezed. It doesn't affect us short term. They can go where it likes. I don't care. As long as it moves intraday, that's all that matters. Right, so 5-minute opening range is just about to go in on the DAX, on the DAX, sorry. 10 seconds. There's a big opening range today with very little volatility. Very, very, very slow open. Looking long. Look at that. Very little opening range today. So, difficult to tell where we're going this morning. We haven't gone anywhere, obviously, so far. We could come up and test yesterday's high. Well, that's not far. Very slow, isn't it? I'm going to close this NASDAQ out. I'm just closing that out, pretty much break even. It's a hangover trade from yesterday, and I don't really like it, to be honest. We've pushed up so far. I've just got this feeling today. We've got this nice accumulation here. Market needs to correct itself. I don't really want to be holding that long. Not really got any directional bias to go on yet, though. Looks like a trap higher than lower. Yeah. Yeah, spread is double more. There is a bigger spread on the DAX this morning. You're right. I've just noticed that on my other platform as well. I get a nice fixed spread on this broker, but the lag is terrible. I'm going short one on the DAX. A little bit premature, but looks like we want to take out the opening range lows. FTSE has got yesterday's high. It's basically done this gap fill basically on the first candle, but we're just coming up into this was the high obviously of yesterday, and then we started to sell off and push down. This is the propulsion gap, so I'm expecting some sellers to step in here, and I think we need a down day today, so needs a little bit of a correction. Wow, slow, isn't it? Chris, I had such a bad day yesterday. Started this morning with a mission and made $200 so far. Cool. Don't start. You're going to get bad days. You're going to get bad weeks. You'll even have bad months. It's just part of the business. So obviously pre-market high and low, we sold off hard at the open. So we're either putting in bearish market structure here, or we're looking to put in a new low and push up above these highs. So it's really slow at the open though. It's going to be one of those grindy sessions by the looks of things. Either that or it's just going to collapse out the bottom and we are going to get a drop today. So if it's going to be a collapse out the bottom, we should see a fairly decent sort of move today. Fully corrected all that. Oops. So assuming we've put higher day in, be looking for an ADR move today. If we've put higher day in, obviously. Just going to add one more sell stop under the low. Second position on. TP, I don't have TPs really, down here somewhere. I mean, it depends how long you want to hold it. 38 eventually, I think. But if I can grab 1.5% out in the morning, I'm done. I just want to get some money in the bank. Ride it until it goes, basically, until it looks like it's going to stop. Obviously, you just want to be careful of this support rectangle from the market reversal alert indicator. This is basically the low before the high, but we've had a pullback since then, so that's not really valid. I don't think that will hold. We should just get a reversal alert down there. This accumulation and this move up, this is the one that I would go for. So 14.072. If we get the move down, obviously, we haven't got the move down yet. First thing we've got to do is establish whether or not market structure is short today or whether it's going to be long. So both of these positions this morning, I'm taking a speculative for shorts, but should really have a bit of a wider stop on these, but that second position I should anyway. It's very sluggish. Don't like this at all. FTSE's coming down hard. So this accumulation here that started to move, that's where we need to break on the FTSE and the lows on the DAX. It's really slow. I think my TP is too tight on this second position. I think I'm going to get taken out on that. It's like watching the market in slow motion, isn't it? This is the fallout of FOMC. Everybody's shell-shocked. They've either made so much money they're still in bed, or they've lost so much money they're just not bothering to trade this morning. News today, by the way. Oh, that's the other thing we've got today. Yes. 9:30 this morning, we've got Lagarde speaking. This could well be a holding pattern for today's news, obviously. I haven't covered the news yet because I was a bit late. But we got Lagarde this morning. We'll have a look at the Aussie in a minute. And then obviously we've got the rate increase for the pound to 12 o'clock. So we could well see the market just sit sideways today, this morning during the London and Frankfurt sessions, just waiting for the news. But okay, FTSE's still coming down. Hopefully that'll drag that DAX down. The markets are very slow. Need to pick up a bit of speed. Right, while we're waiting for the market to actually wake up, let me just... So I'm really not with it this morning. Let me just get my other platform open so I can monitor DAX. One sec. There we go. Right. Okay. So ADRs today, nothing so far. We're completely flat, as you'd expect. Fallout of FOMC. Nothing's moved. We've got loads of weeklies hit and extended now. But obviously these are all off. We're on a Thursday now, so these really you should all be looking for either accumulations or drops on all of those at the moment. So we'll have a whiz through at the minute and have a look at all the pairs. RSI extensions, there's quite a few on the hourly and the 4 hourly. So we'll whiz through all of those while this is just being a total slug this morning. So overnight we had the Aussie dollar employment change. So there was not a massive amount of movement. We did get some movement on the release. It had a little bit of a push up. It's having a bit more of a push as well now. But it corrected very quickly. So there wasn't really any reaction off of the news. It was another whipsaw event, as you can see. So nothing happened off of the Aussies. But we have got lots of extensions on the Aussies still. So Aussie dollar Swiss, very nicely extended. So we're due a profit take move on this one now. Nothing new on the war overnight, apart from the fact that we've had that peace deal obviously rejected. It wasn't really a peace deal. It was more of a, this is what Russia is demanding. What are you on? No, thank you, Mr. Putin. So although they keep saying they're getting closer, their version of closer is actually sitting around a table. It's not actually getting any closer to anything. And they obviously bombed overnight a theatre full of about 200 people. So I can't see this thing finishing soon. It looks like it's going to become some kind of long protracted conflict. So as far as I'm concerned at the moment, I think it's not so much business as usual on the FX markets, but I think we're going to see now more stable price action coming back in. So where we're seeing these big strong pushes, we should start to see these profit takes coming back in, because this is not fundamental and news causing this, I don't think, at the moment. Now I think it's more like just normal movement. It's just that the market has shifted in a different way. So the economies are all going to start to change slightly. Places like Australia, a lot of the resources that were produced by Ukraine and Russia are now going to be sourced elsewhere. So we're going to see economies starting to shift, and we'll see strength in different currencies changing over the next sort of 6 months or so, I'd imagine, until it's all kind of normalized. But what that will bring will be normal price action coming through. So where we're seeing strong pushes, we should see the normal price action starting to happen. And that's the reason I turned off the EAs, because I was expecting ridiculous spikes, which we got, and very big squeezes. But all of those squeezes on a vast majority of things like oil have all been undone completely. So everything that kind of went crazy in the war has corrected itself, and we're now back to sort of business as usual on most things. So Aussie Swiss, very, very extended. Should start to see a profit take move coming on that one. We've got this potential resistance up here, which has turned into support. This one candle bounced off of it straight away. So not really big enough to be a profit take move. So again, if this continues to push and we do get over the 80 level, we shall see a good retracement back into there. So nice short opportunity on the Aussie Swiss. Aussie yen, all the yen pairs are very, very extended still. So you can see obviously we had a bit of a movement, profit take on that one. We had a profit take on that one. Again, same thing. We're expecting the profit take move to come in. Now, it's very positive figures last night on the Aussie. So potentially today we could see the Aussie pushing a little bit further. But with that, obviously, is going to come more of an extension. The more of an extension we have, the faster the drop will be. So if this does continue to move up, obviously, we'll be looking for a drop back down into that area there. So very, very nicely extended on the Aussie dollar yen. Same with the pound yen. Very, very, very extended. We'll have a look at that one in a sec. The other Aussie pairs we've got extended are the Aussie US. US dollar I'm expected to power up. Therefore, we should see this starting to come back down. This isn't quite as extended at the moment. Aussie US. It's not. I mean, I need 75 really at the moment to get interested in anything. So just getting extended. If it pushes up further, and obviously comes up to challenge these highs, yeah. If it gets all the way up there without doing any decent pullback, we should be looking for a good drop on that one. So Aussie US as well. CAD Swiss. So I'm just watching the DAX is just pulling back at the minute. Very, very, very slowly. Just get it back to get taken out of that second position. Taken out in the second position. So I'm just short one now. So yeah, CAD Swiss. It's like a slug today. Awful. CAD Swiss very extended. Again, Swiss franc, we haven't had that move. Any move really on the Swiss franc. It's had little flashes of inspiration where it looked like it was going to move, but it really hasn't. So we're waiting for some Swiss franc strength to come in. We've got a little bit there at the minute, starting to show, but again, big strong extension. Waiting for that pullback to come in. Very nicely extended, and we will get that decent move down. So that's a nice looking entry short. Same as the CAD yen. All the yens, basically, everything yen based is massively extended, waiting for pullbacks on those. I've got 2 yens on at the moment. I'll have a look at the EA in a second, but I've got 2 yen shorts on at the minute. Swiss yen, same thing. Now the Swiss yen is not quite as nice because we've had very nice market structure on the way up. We've just had a very decent pullback on that move already, so potentially continuation on this one. Not as extended either, so not the best of them. The CAD yen and the CAD Swiss are much better, and the Aussie yen. Euro Swiss, again, lovely short opportunity on the Euro Swiss. This thing is really, really, really extended. We've pulled all the way back now to the 72. Yesterday looked like it was rollover time, hasn't. So yeah, really, really strong move. This is definitely due a drop. The reason this is pushing so hard is because we just haven't had any strength coming through on the Swiss franc, which is unusual. So as soon as things start to normalise and more money goes back into the Swiss banking system, we'll get those pushes that we tend to see happening in the Swiss franc, which gives us this lovely market structure. So it's coming, it will come, but we're waiting for things to normalise. The problem with the euro and the Swiss obviously is it's so close to the war. I think the market is still a little bit shell-shocked and a little bit worried about entering into euro and Swiss positions at the minute. So the euro's running away at the moment with the Swissy. Pound, we've got very, very weak at the moment. It is starting to stabilise. We've had a reversal alert and a retest on that one. A lot of these euros, so I'm just going off tangent a minute, I'm not looking at ADR extensions. A lot of these euros, they are starting to sort of stabilise and show signs of weakness now. The Euro Swiss obviously is the one that isn't, because the Swiss banking system is not being utilised much at the moment. So I'm just going to quickly enter in another short on the DAX. We're contracting ahead of the move here. I'm playing the short. So that's the pullback entry. So a lot of these euros, I think the euro is not strong at the moment. It's showing signs of being strong, but it isn't strong. The thing that's lacking is the Swiss franc, which is why this one is so strong and squeezy at the minute. So I'm not 100% sure on this one. I'd much rather be in the euro yen at the moment, and I think I am. I'm either in the euro yen or the pound yen. I'll have a look at the VPS in a minute. But yeah, whoop, there we go. Let's throw that in the background. So yeah, that one basically, nice looking short opportunity. Very, very few pullbacks on this one. We've had this big, strong push and accumulation, big, strong push, accumulation, big, strong push, next leg accumulation, drop. So should be looking for a good drop on that one as well. Pound Swiss. Oops. Again, pound has been very, very, very weak. Same thing. Swiss franc just not got any power whatsoever at the moment. So the pound is doing the same thing, taking advantage of that and getting these big moves in. We're above 80, very, very extended. Again, these are much more risky because we're waiting for the Swiss franc to power up. The Swiss franc is just not getting anything at the minute. It will at some point, but it's a case of waiting. So you may well be sitting in these and being squeezed for a while. Then again, it could all come down today. Impossible to tell. Bear in mind, 12 o'clock today, we've got the bank rate for the euro, for the pound. Our interest rates are going up again. So we're going to get some movement on the pound this afternoon. Could well just immediately go this afternoon. So pound Swiss and the pound yen as well is the other one, massively extended. Just coming up to resistance on this one as well. So we've got levels of resistance coming up on the pound. We've just got a weekly range on the Aussie. This is a nice area of balance, this area of accumulation here, where we were happy to trade for a good week and a half. So we've just seeing obviously a bit of selling pressure coming in here. We should see some equilibrium start to form here, if not a rejection. So you got a level there and a level there, all within an ADR today. So if you take any sign of weakness today on this one, you've got additional entries potentially. By the time you get up there, you're at ADR, and then we are going to double top at the absolute high if it can push all the way up there. If it gets any higher, obviously we're going to get embedded above the 80. You know what happens when we get embedded above the 80? We have usually a catastrophic collapse. So yeah, pound yen looks very, very good, but again, yen's just got nothing at the minute. So as soon as we get some strength starting to form on these yen pairs, we'll be quids in on those. New Zealand dollar Swiss, nicely extended. Again, Swiss franc. New Zealand dollar's been pretty strong. The Swiss franc is not very good. Not particularly extended at the moment. Again, New Zealand dollar yen is the better position to take. We've had we had initial entry. People may have got in on that one there. If you didn't get out on that one, you've had opportunities to scale in. You probably wouldn't have got an exit off of that entry there. So I don't know if anybody's in this one, but obviously I wasn't trading that week because obviously this was the week it was all kicking off. So, but it's absolutely shot, as all these yens are at the moment. So, and US dollar yen. Tried to short this one here. Got a nice short entry, made some profit, came back up, made a little loss on that reversal there. It's still massively shot. US dollar still pretty strong. And again, when we get that yen strength coming through, this one will start to roll over. But I would much rather be trading the pound, the euro, or the CAD, or in fact the Aussie, than the US dollar, because the US dollar is a long bias. The rest of them are short. So that would be much better to take than the US dollar yen. But even so, this is going to have a correction at some point. DAX is looking choppy as you like today. Not good trading conditions. Need to be trading very small time frames. Profster, UK 100. M on 1 minute. I don't know. Quite possibly. Let's have a look. Well, guess so. Oh, are you talking super tight, M? I don't know when you sent that. 8:29, 2 minutes ago. Well, there you go. Yes, is the answer. Short. Short again. Exit. Just have a quick look at oil while we're on the subject of extensions. Oil I was trying to long and I gave up because I don't get on with oil. We have just basically reverted back to where we were. So this whole thing has just done an A-shaped recovery back to square one. We got really extended on the 4 hour and now we are just accumulating. I still think oil is going to go up because we've still got instability in the commodities markets. There's a major player exiting. So all of that supply has got to be re-established and there's going to be more costs involved in it. So I think the cost of oil is going to be going up long term, well short term as well, but I don't think we're going to get the astronomical increases that they were forecasting, the 150s, the 200s, the 300s a barrel. I think we're probably going to have this sort of gradual increase, so it'd be a case of buying the dips on oil moving forward, I think. And it's the same thing with gold. I think the gold is we've had the same thing happening with this. We had the move, we've had the actually no, it's not quite as bad as we thought. We just had a reversal on that long. So I was looking for longs when we bounced back at the 24 and it's dipped below and now springing off. So again, massive RSI extension, reversal, looking for longs, at least back up to there. And again, gold, I think we will just see a steady trend on it moving forward. To the upside. Money's going to keep coming into commodities and metals. Metals are getting more scarce, more expensive. So, yeah, I think you need to be buying those as well at the moment. Nice rejection on the DAX. I think I'm going to target 1.5% today. I'm just going to try and... what should I do? So I'm 0.5 down. I'm just going to target, let's go for 1.6, just cover costs. Just going to go for 1.6 as an exit. I'm not going to scale into any more positions because I'm not quite sure. on the market this morning. So basically, if I can bank 1% this morning, I'll be happy off that. It's too slow. I don't like it when it's this slow. It's horrible. It feels like it's building up for something at the moment. Hopefully break to the downside. Right, so that's the 4-hour RSI extensions. Plenty of opportunities there. Hourlies are pretty much the same. So we've got Aussie Swiss, Aussie Yen. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all these. They're the same thing. Aussie US, CAD Swiss, CAD Yen. Same things. They're all extended on the 4-hourly. Euro Swiss and Euro Yen extended on the 4-hourly and the hourly. Pounds Swiss and Pound Yen. Same thing. And New Zealand Swiss and New Zealand Yen again. So the only thing that is not different on the hourly RSI extensions is the pound US dollar. So I missed your comment there, Andy. News on the earthquake in Japan yesterday certainly didn't help. Yeah, I saw that. I've got to mention that. It was an earthquake. It was strong. It wasn't as strong, I don't think, Richter scale wise, was it, as the Fukushima issue, but the actual torque or the actual strength of it underground apparently was a lot stronger. So they've had tsunami warnings issued, etc., but it doesn't seem at the moment like it's done anything. But obviously they get a lot of earthquakes over there, and it's just worrying because they don't often happen as single events. So another one of those could well screw up the yen even further. So world events. The trouble is with trading anything long term, you are open to any economic and fundamental shifts. They're going to affect positions, and you have to adjust accordingly. If we're getting into yen shorts and there's an earthquake, there's just nothing you can do about it. These things just happen. We had that with New Zealand. I was trading the New Zealand dollar when we had the earthquake in Auckland. And the New Zealand dollar tanked. I was on the wrong side of it. There's nothing you can do. You have to sit it out. It will recover. But the market will always have a knee-jerk reaction when things like that happen. And it just means you have to get squeezed a little bit more than you were expecting to. But they will recover. And this is a prime example with what we've just seen with oil and gold. Yeah, market goes crazy, scared. And all this is, oh my God. Actually, it's not as bad as we thought. We've had an earthquake. Oh my God, what's going to go on? I don't know. But it's okay. They realise the world recovers. The world gets on with it. You have to. The market always has a knee-jerk reaction. And sometimes the knee-jerk reactions last a week or so. Sometimes they'll last a couple of days. But whenever you get them, they will recover. They always reverse themselves. The only time is if there's a fundamental shift. An earthquake destroys Japan and there's only 10% of Japan left, that's going to affect the yen. But if it is just a power station exploding or a couple of towns get destroyed or a tsunami wipes out part of the coast, yes, it will have a short-term effect, but it still doesn't have any long-term effect on manufacturing and everything that these countries are doing. So you don't need to worry about them too much, but obviously you just need to be aware of why the market is squeezing against you if it happens. What do you think about MACD moving averages? Visual MACD MAs. I don't know. I have no view on them. I don't even know what they are. Are you talking about the moving averages in the MACD? What do I think of the MACD? I don't know. I never traded with it. Don't have an answer for that one. Sorry, I don't use it. OPEC have the perfect excuse to increase production. Yes, and that's what they all want. That's what all the Middle Eastern countries want. Obviously increase, but they always want increased production. It makes them more money. America's stepped in, obviously, and done a lot of increased production because they're a net producer. So obviously they can produce way more than they need. The trouble is obviously shipping from America is difficult. Search about it, visual MACD. I don't know. I can't. I have my system I've developed over 15 years. I'm not going to start looking into new indicators 15 years into this. I've spent 10 years hopping from system to system, strategy to strategy, indicator to indicator. I'm not going to start looking at new indicators now. I make money doing this. I'm happy with it. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. But if you want to go and search on it and play with them, go for it. Pound US dollar is the other thing that's extended on the hourly. I've just drawn some support in there, resistance rather, off of that double top. So we are coming to a point potentially where we're going to see a reaction. 12:30, we have the rate announcement. So anybody that entered short here off of this whacking great candle, they saw that double top. They saw this come up and tap into the resistance. Everybody that went short there has their money there. At the moment, they're pushing up to take that liquidity and potentially run away with it. So pretty much textbook play for a liquidity run, hopefully this morning on the pound US dollar. So looking at that on the hourly, we're very nicely extended. We've had a decent push up. We've been embedded on the RSI all morning. So hopefully if we can get that liquidity run done, we've got potential for a nice movement on the pound this afternoon. So looking at the pound, very difficult to tell which way we're going to go with this. This is still obviously the main news event of the day. The bank rates obviously designed to go up, or manufactured to go up. Forecast to go up, get the right word. If we come out as expected, we will see a move probably in the pound. This is all factored in. The market factors in these rate increases ahead of time. So it won't have a fundamental effect on the pound, but we will see some volatility coming in. So if this comes out different to 0.75, i.e. they decide to hike it by 0.5% or something instead of 0.25%, which is very unlikely, but it does occasionally happen, you'll find that we'll get a massive fundamental move, and that will be a much bigger sort of 300 ADR move. Which way it's going to go off of the rates, I don't actually know. No one knows. But the way that the pound has been going recently, I suspect probably down. So the current trend on the pound is down, but what we might see is a spike up to gather liquidity, entice longs, and then drop it from there. But it's very, very difficult. Obviously, market structure is very, very plain to see. We are in a downtrend on this. But there's plenty of room to the upside as well for the pound to come back up and sort of retest these areas here. Even come up and retest these this propulsion move down that we had there. So there is still a lot of upside on it. But obviously, it's quite tired where we are at the moment. So the likelihood is we're probably going to get a move in the opposite direction. But we have had such a strong move with very little pullback. There is potential for it to push up higher. So it's difficult to tell where the pound is going to go today. If you look at all the pound pairs, especially things like the New Zealand and the Aussie, we haven't really had a correction on this. Yeah, we haven't had a profit take move really off the back of this at all. When the war kicked in, the euro collapsed, as did the pound. So we're sitting accumulating at the moment. So there is a case for a big strong push on the pound to try and correct some of this move, but how far it's going to get is very, very difficult to sort of forecast at the moment. So I'm going to be watching the pound. I suspect we might get a drop down on it, but there's lots of signs of short-term strength starting to come through as well. So it's difficult. Obviously, interest rates going up is to combat inflation. Inflation is going up faster than interest rates. So, there's going to be strain on the economy, which obviously isn't necessarily going to be good for the pound. The banking sector is is struggling, not struggling, but the banking sector has been hit by Russia being removed from SWIFT. So there's obviously a hell of a lot less transactions going through the SWIFT banking system, which the vast majority of that goes through London. So stuff is not good for the pound at the moment, and for the UK economy. So I suspect we might see a drop, but difficult to tell. So keep your eyes peeled on those, and obviously pound US dollar specifically, because we are extended now. We're just getting extended on the hourly. We've got another level there to have a look at as well. Which is going to coincide with that propulsion move and the 24 moving average from the daily. So that's what I mean. There's a good move up. So if we get a good strong push up today, would be a lovely little short opportunity. Afternoon, Trevor. Showing up a bit late again. Right. So yesterday I banked a little bit. What did I bank yesterday? Aussie dollar CAD. Aussie dollar CAD. Where are you? There you are. So Aussie dollar CAD. 2 positions off of that yesterday. So initial entry there. Second entry on that reversal alert. Closed out there. Pushing up a little bit more today. So first bank on that. Got 3 positions on at the moment, 2 yens. So it's the pound yen I've got short, and I've got the CAD yen short. I've got 3 positions on the CAD yen now. So again, as I say, these yen pairs are very, very, very extended. The CAD yen and the pound yen I've got. DAX is going absolutely nowhere today. We're just not going anywhere. Market's not interested really in any movement at the moment ahead of the rates and potentially Lagarde. So my excuse is I was up for the Asian session. Okay, well that's okay. You're allowed that excuse. Yeah, pound yen and CAD yen I've got on both extended dramatically. So CAD yen, we're touching 80 at the moment. Pound yen, we're already well extended. So these 2 I've already got on, and I've also got a US dollar Swiss short. US dollar Swiss. So we were obviously massively extended here on the 4 hour. We still are. We're still just accumulating up at these highs at the moment. So again, I'm waiting for this Swiss franc strength to come through, like everybody is at the minute. It will happen, and when it does, it'll really kick the US down. But we're waiting at the moment, so nothing we can do. But I've only got a single position on that, so it's only first entry. Oh, sorry, second entry. Just taking second entry on the US dollar Swiss. Come on, blind eyes, where is it? There. So yeah, so sort of only looking to get down to sort of that support and be out. But so yeah, so that's what I've got on at the minute. Nothing on the hourly. Still, nothing's getting extended enough on the hourly for me to trade. So looking levels wise on the hourly RSIs. I'm looking for 80-20. Aussie dollar yen and pound yen, but I'm not trading those pairs. I don't trade the yens on the hourly. I've got a Swiss yen on. The reason I trade the Swiss yen is because the yen and the Swiss are notorious for having strong moves and then they stop. So by trading those 2 together, you get that sort of price action a lot of the time, which is good to trade. So the other yens I don't trade on the hourly, because when we do get squeezes on the yen, on the hourly charts, you can get in a little bit too fast and too hard. So I found the yens in back testing didn't perform anywhere near as well on the H1M5 strategy as they do on the H4M15. So I just don't trade the yens. And that's all that we've got extended at the minute. So Aussie dollar Swiss is getting close, and the pound Swiss is getting close, and let's say New Zealand dollar yen, but I don't trade it. So that's where I am at the minute. So yeah, there we go. That's everything. DAX is still doing nothing. I'm tempted just to take 0.5% and walk away with a break even this morning, to be honest. It's not going anywhere, is it? Really undecided. It's looking heavier. I mean, we've got more wicks to the upside than we have to the downside. See all these tiny little wicks we've got at the bottom of all these candles. We've got big wicks on all the other candles, on all the candles. So there's way more selling pressure coming in than there is buying pressure, but there's not enough selling pressure to actually get a movement in the market. So tricky. Lagarde is on at 9:30, so we've got 50 minutes until Lagarde is speaking. She may kick the market into action this morning. Maybe waiting for that. I don't quite know what exactly she is. Where is she? Institute for Monetary and Financial Stability in Frankfurt. Yeah, don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to ride this out as a short. I've got 1% risk on. I've lost 0.5% risk this morning. I've got 0.5%. So I'm basically break even on the morning where we are right now. But it looks bearish, doesn't it? Still very bearish. There's lots of wicks to the upside. So S&P's very much the same. They're all the same. Nothing's moving this morning. There's that nice M on the FTSE that we just looked at on the 1 minute chart. So that played out nicely. Maybe you should be trading 1 minute charts today. Yeah. But even, yeah, I mean, double tops. It's really all you can do. There's not a lot of movement otherwise, but I think it will kick in at some point. Or maybe it's kicking in now. This could be it, couldn't it? And if it does kick in, I think we've got a fair amount of drop today on these indices. I think we've got a long way to go on a pullback today. But I'm not sure we're going to get the momentum ahead of the pound announcement at 12. I mean, it's not expected to be anything different, but yeah, difficult. Tricky morning. So I'm going to trade that DAX short. I'm looking at a 1.5% target, which banks me 1% for the morning. And I think if I can get 1.5% this morning and bag 1%, I'll be happy with that, because this is just slow as you like. I don't need to go far to get 1.5%, probably before we get to those lows, to be honest. But we'll see on that one. Anybody got any other pairs or anything else they want to discuss or look at? We've covered everything that's extended opportunities wise. Lots of lovely extensions, but the vast majority of these are yens as well. So yens we're a little bit tired on. And they're still pushing. It's not pushed. Nothing's much moving this morning, is it, really? Fallout of FOMC. We haven't looked at the Dixie. So US dollar. Euro Swiss. I'll have a look at that in a sec. So US dollar, we're in a little bit of a pullback. I was expecting us yesterday off of FOMC to get a little bit more of a push than we did. We didn't get an awful lot at all. So this support held last week. All we're doing at the moment this week is pulling back on last week's move. So as long as we're staying above the 24, we're bullish on the US dollar. But we're in a slight decline at the moment. There's not really any strength coming through on the dollar. There's no strength coming through on anything at the minute, particularly, which is why it's making it so difficult to sort of trade things at the minute. But I think at the moment we're looking for probably a double bottom bounce, so a little bit more drop on the US dollar this week. It's only Friday tomorrow, so if we can get back down to here for tomorrow, I think next week we'll probably start the push to try and make a new leg higher. But yeah, just very, very weak day at the moment. There's still a lot of uncertainty in the market. So Euro Swiss. Sorry, one sec. Just watching the DAX. Yeah, so double bottom is probably going to be my target, 1.6. Euro Swiss. So the gap's there. Yeah, I mean, potentially that's what we're doing at the moment. We're pushing up into that gap. When we get into that gap, yeah, I mean, that's where you want to be jumping out, I think, isn't it? Or jumping in, rather, on the Euro Swiss. We've massively extended at the moment, and it's the Swiss franc. We're just stuck on the Swissy at the minute. So it's looking like that gap fill is. I mean, the thing is with the gap fills, people class gap fills in different ways, and it depends on how the market was positioned when the gap was created. So a lot of the time, this could be the gap fill. So you look at the movement at the end of the week or the end of that day, basically. There's many areas where you could class that as a gap fill. Some people use where the gap started as well as a potential fill. But I mean, to me, a gap fill is really the low of the candle, the last candle before the gap was formed. So I would say that is really where we want to be going to. But equally, we could just run into some kind of support somewhere around this level as well. Resistance, rather. So, don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely shorting this. There's 1.6%, just closing out. So 1% up on the morning. Looks like a few other people decided to take profits there as well. We're just coming down to double bottom. So if we're going to just accumulate today, that's probably where we're going to do it from. This thing I think is coming down a lot more, but it's just really slow this morning. So if you do want to trade this morning, what I would be looking for is a break of this low. I want to see this low broken before I get interested in any more shorts. When it breaks this low, look for pullbacks and short pullbacks. So look for, obviously, if you're using the price action toolkit, look for bearish engulfings, long wicks, and IRBs for shorts. And obviously just get in below those in line with moving average. Where's my moving averages? Oh, there they are. God, I can't even see the moving averages. Look, it's so flat. It's horrible. But moving averages are starting to fan out now. So see the moving average starting to fan out. This is an IRB here right now. This is about to be an IRB candle when this candle closes. Well, it depends how far up it pushes, but needs to be 45% retracement. So if that is the case, self-stop under there. Be careful because it's a double bottom. But as I say, I'd like to see that break, pull back, and then start looking for short opportunities. We got loads of space to the downside to drop on all of these indices. But it's just very, very, very slow, horrible, choppy open today. Prosta, Ethereum. Same as the indices, basically short. You can see it's short at the moment. So yeah, sure. I don't trade crypto, but the crypto is the same as the American indices now, pretty much. So they're all doing the same stuff. That's not an American indices. These are American indices. Yeah, Ethereum, Bitcoin. It's all the same stuff. Short. They move the same as the indices. So if the indices are going down, indices are in a bear market, crypto's in a bear market. Indices are in a bull market, crypto's in a bull market. Short. Simeon, pound US dollar. Probably covered this one, hadn't I? After you said that. Maybe you missed that. But looking for this liquidity to be taken and potentially short. We've got a bit of a weak US dollar at the minute. So obviously the pound is taking advantage of that. The pound is not strong though. So I would say shorts. And obviously this is all going to move on the rate announcement at 12:30. 12 o'clock. Sorry. Nope. Yep, no, 12 o'clock. I wish why can't they just release everything at the same time? Just pick a time, everybody. Some people do 12, some people do 12:30. Just pick a time. What's your RSI dashboard settings? For 4 hour, I use... I basically have got there's lots of different settings basically. This is what I call the strength setting. So it shows you strength of movement. Obviously the further along it gets, the more extended we are. So I just basically, you can see, I mean the settings are all at the top here, look. This is the 68-32, 70-30, 75-25, 80-20, 85-15 and 90. And these are all 4 hour. And I use the median, 14. And for the hourly, I use the 21 median. So yeah, those are my settings. Right, that's covered everything. Right, so yeah, DAX, I'm out. We're pulling back now. Until we break, as I say, until we break these lows, I wouldn't really get involved in anything. The FTSE's showing divergence on the DAX, so the market's just really not got a clue at the moment this morning. It's not got any directional bias whatsoever, really. So I would, if you haven't made any money this morning, I would be just looking for shorts, because the only reason I'm looking for shorts is just because of the amount of movement upwards we've had across the indices. So we've had big, strong movement to the upside. We're due a correction on all of this. We're in a bear market, don't forget, across the board. We've had a massive, strong push. So after every pullback comes a drop. Yeah, this is just a very big, strong pullback on the move that we've just seen. Very difficult to know where to measure this one from. Oops. On the DAX specifically, the move I would take is this here. So this high. So we've got a series of market structure highs and lows here. So we've got a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. That's the lower high before this big move started down. That's where I would measure it from. We're above the 61.8 retracement already. So this is a really, really strong pullback in a bear market, I think. If it is going to try to go higher, we're looking at, obviously, support resistance is there. So there's not far to go. It's within an ADR today. So if we do get a bull day today, for any reason, I can't see it going any higher than that. That would be it. But I think personally, we've had a really strong push. We're coming back up into all this chop here, this is a big accumulation, two big accumulations next to each other before that drop. We're going to find a lot of resistance here to go higher at the moment. So this is where I think we're going to start to roll over, and we've had this push and we're accumulating. So this accumulation is either going to be a next leg up or a next leg down. We're above the 24, below the 72. So this is exactly where I'd be looking for shorts. So yeah, but that's why I'm looking short on this at the moment. But at the moment, obviously, say the market's not really interested in going anywhere. Okay, that's it for this morning, I think. I'll be back at 1 o'clock this afternoon, ready for the London session. Obviously, be aware of 12 o'clock, the pound rate. We will be looking for movement on the pound, hopefully to the downside. All these pounds are nicely extended, so I'll be looking for shorts. Obviously, I'm pound yen short already. Whatever it does, it does. But if it goes up, I'm going to scale in, obviously, to bring my average up and then drop from there. So gold, I've already looked at gold. Gold's long. Reversal alert on 4 hour, 24. Back up to the highs, basically. Buy gold. Still got a war on, don't forget. So commodities and metals will increase during times of crisis. So we will get, we should see gold pushing up. Obviously, we've just had the knee-jerk reaction off the back of that. That's the knee-jerk reaction. That's the, oh yeah, actually, no. Revert to where we were and carry on as we were before. Of course, as long as they don't suddenly go, actually, no, we will stop the war. Then who knows? But that's unlikely to happen, isn't it? And it's a lovely 50, 61.8 retracement, look, where we are now. So 50 to 61.8 retracement, next leg higher. Perfect pullback. We just rejected the lows on the DAX. Oh, it's choppy and horrible. I'm not going to trade this morning. That's it. I'm done. 1% in the bank. Happy with that. Can't do much better than that this morning. Unless you're going to trade tiny little time frames like M1. Euro pound is a short. For me, at the moment, we're just in accumulation because we've got a weak euro and a weak pound sitting together. Therefore, obviously, two weak currencies together means no movement. So we're just accumulating. But overall, the euro should still be weaker than the pound. So I'd be more inclined for short bias on that. We've just had a reversal alert and a retest, and we've just broken those lows. So looking good for short opportunities. So there's your initial reversal alert. There's your pullback to create your M pattern. And we've broken the lows. So look out below. But at the moment, you know, it's we've got the pound. If we get the pound strengthening off of the back of the rate announcement, it's going to come down this afternoon. If the pound weakens off the back of the rate announcement, we're going to come back up and stay in this accumulation. But long term, I'd be looking, if you're going to enter positions, if you're going to position trade it, be going short. AK Roofing Specialists, Liverpool roofer. Good advert. I need my roof done. Our trouble is you're at the other end of the country, so can't really help. But yeah, my roof is looking a bit tired. Pound CAD. Pound CAD W. But short term, short again. It's very, very difficult with the pound at the moment. Personally, pound, I've got a long bias on it. The COT report before the war was long on the pound. So we were looking for pound strength, and then obviously the war kicked in and it completely destroyed the pound and the euro. So I think continuation shorts, but I'd be looking for pullbacks on the RSI, either on the hourly or the 4 hourly, for short opportunities. But at the moment, we're flatlined. So we've got this last accumulation, reversal alert, create that propulsion gap. Sellers are stepping in here. There's long wicks to the upside. See, we've got wicks, loads of wicks, loads of sellers. This is absorption of buyers. Sellers are stepping in, going, nope, don't want to go higher. Nope, not going to go higher. But I'd want to see it up here to start entering short positions. Didn't quite, just about got there. See the wicks. I mean, always wicks are key to identifying price action, yeah? Which is why we've got the long wick pattern in the price action toolkit. Yeah. Wicks give you a clue as to what's happening, yeah? We get these long wicks. It means that the buyers are stepping in and the sellers are going, nope, trying again, nope, trying again, nope. And this is what these long wicks are. They're absorption of buyers. And it means that basically the buyers are running out. We're running out of buyers. No one's interested in buying anymore. And eventually the buyers will all give up and go, oh, well, it's not a buy, is it? It's a sell. And as soon as they join the sellers, that's when we get those movements. Yeah. Loads of selling, profit taking. Profit taking is basically the sellers taking profits on their positions. As it moves up, the buyers go, oh, look, everyone's buying it. And they start buying it. And it's actually the sellers adding to their positions. And they move down, they take their profits, they add to their positions. And that's what you see with the wicks. And this is why these are so important. Propulsion moves. We didn't get much of a pullback on that, did we? So just broken the lows. So officially, new market structure, bearish. Now on the DAX, just. So bearish market structure. So look for pullbacks and shorts. Any pullbacks into that area for shorts this morning, but only up until 12 o'clock. Or just before 12, because as soon as 12 o'clock kicks in and they announce those bank rates, the market's going to go mental. So, okay, that's it for this morning. Anything else you need, come into the Telegram group. I will be in there if you need anything. I'll be back at 1 o'clock. We'll have a look at what's happened of the pound rate announcement. And then we'll get ready for the New York session and trade some indices. All right. So have a good morning. It's really coming down now, look. Have a good morning. Hopefully you make some profit, and I will see you at 1 o'clock this afternoon.